you tell all your mates, tell all your friends, share the link everywhere to make sure everyone can join in the show and witness all the action here at the Techno293 World Championships.
That is right. Let's get some activity in the comment section. Any questions you want to know, please send that in. We will do our best to bring the Techno Plus, and they're 1 minute 44 seconds to go. And as you can see, they are getting ready. They are on the start line. They are searching for their position. This is a super important bit of the racing for them.
Certainly is, as you know very well indeed, Kieran. Multiple world champion. Give us a quick little bit of a background of you yourself, go on.
Yeah, that is right. You did hear it from Rafty first. This is a bit of a speciality for me. I was a big techno lover back in the day, under 15, under 17 world champion, so hopefully a little bit of knowledge is still kicking about up in the noggin, but we will see.
I'm sure it definitely will be. I'm sure you'd certainly do pretty damn well. Still in the racing, eh?
Exactly. And there we go. We are into the 1 minute. So now there was a P flag flying on the race course. So what that means is if they are over in the last minute, they have to go around the ends, either around the start boat end or the pin end to complete their penalty, and then they are free to race.
But no matter what, you do not want to be over that start, do you? Because, you know, if you do have that P flag, as we have at the minute, if you're over that start line, you then, again, get a very delayed start. Not only a delayed start, you are then behind everyone, meaning that you have that dirty wind. And in this light winds, you want to have the cleanest, most powerful wind as possible. So, just keep in your lane, getting in the right place within this start. But we've got a lot of space down that bottom end at the minute. Everyone really bunched up at that committee boat, aren't they?
That is right. I mean, at the committee boat, you can get a feel for where you're on the line. And here we are, counting down 4 into the final 5 seconds. They are pumping away. And they are off for race number 10 of the World Championships.
Game time is on. Race 10 is underway. And straight away, they are right up onto the plane, railing that board, putting in some really big pumps, maximising the power within that sail, driving it through their body and into that board, and ultimately into that dagger board, meaning that they reduce their drag and gain that speed.
That is right, and it looks like Japanese sailor at the top and some French sailors and some Italians and Singapore have really nailed that start line. They have a really good early advantage. Now it's all about work rate today, ladies and gentlemen. It is looking light out there. Whoever can pump the hardest will be going the quickest, and in a sport like this, the faster you go, the more likely you are to be at the front.
Certainly so. I mean, we're looking out there, and on the screens at the minute, it's looking like maybe even under 10 knots out there, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. So it is all about work rate here, keeping your head out the boat. You want to be looking for that darker water out there. Darker water means more wind, and more wind means faster board speed.
Exactly, as we are seeing definitely the Singapore rider and Japanese rider on the left side of our screens certainly having the best start so far, currently leading this race. But remember, this is quite gusty and shifty winds out here at the minute, especially in these light stuff, so let's keep our eyes on that group that have gone off onto the other side of the course. But I think we saw a very big starboard bias start there, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the people towards the boat hand have come off with a massive advantage. As you can see from this camera angle there, the people on the left hand side do have a big advantage, and there's a few people that have tacked off onto port, and they are trying to dig a little bit more into that wind shift, and then let's see if they can come back and get back amongst the other sailors.
It is looking dreamy out here, though. Here in Pwllheli, North Wales, UK. What an absolutely amazing location. I was lucky enough to be here early in the year as well, and this place is just dreamy, especially summer. We're in the back half of August here in the UK. Proper British summer, isn't it, Kieran?
It is gorgeous out there. Even lots of the competitors from all around the world and sunny Mediterraneans, they have been saying just how much they've been enjoying the conditions out here. Would you believe it?
Amazing. And we've got people from all around the world, you know, not only the rest of Europe, but also Asia, as we have on our screens at the minute. Japanese 1016 on our screens at the minute. So that is Takihito Katayama, all the way from Japan. He came in today, currently lying in 7th place overall. it's either 5th or I think that might be 7th place indeed. Looking at the results, a little bit of an interesting one going up at the top. But counting that back, he is in 7th overall currently, looking like he's leading this race though, isn't he, Kieran?
Yeah, he really has. And in the Techno Plus fleet, we have a big contingency from Japan, so they have come a very long way to come enjoy the North Wales weather this week. And it looks like they're enjoying it. They have about 7 people in the top 10, so they really know what they're doing, so that we can follow them, and I'm sure the other competitors will be watching out and seeing what they're up to.
What an amazing shot we have on the screens at the minute. It's so cool to see the spray behind these boards making their way up on to that upwind mark. They will be doing the trapezoid course, which includes an upwind reaching downwinds and through to the finish, but currently they are on their upwind.
That's right, and it looks like those people who started towards the boat end have had that early advantage. They've just pumped off the line, they've kept going their direction, and it looks like they're just going to keep going until they hit the ley line.
Where is that ley line though? We will find out very, very soon. Around 15 minutes will be the gauge time for these races. So it's quite long races within this. They have a lot of time to really perfect their technique, making sure they get as fast as possible. Ultimate VMG, the balance between that upwind and also speed, but also the tactics. The tactics is one of the most important things in this race, is it, Kieran, isn't it?
That's right, Rafty, especially in a day like today. The wind is coming off the mountains towards the east and the north, and that really makes the wind go all over the place, left and right. So it really is who can find those little nuggets of gusts, who can piece them together, who can link the gusts and the shifts and get to the top mark first. And it looks like the Japanese sailor is really doing a good job of that. He's come off the start line, he's been working really hard, and he is keeping going. He's covering the fleet right now. As you can see, they're heading towards a nice bit of gust over there. Let's see that darker patch. They want to be hunting for those, searching out for them and getting in that, and they'll be going up to 2-3 knots quicker than the other competitors if they get in them.
Certainly, and the difference between that kind of displacement mode and railing mode is absolutely huge, isn't it, Kieran?
It is massive, yeah, for sure. I mean, in the displacement mode, you're inboard, your feet are inboard, you're maybe going 5 to 7 knots, but as soon as you hit that gust, you can get your feet in the foot straps, you can lift the rail up. That's less drag over the board, and you start flying along.
Exactly, and on our screens at the minute you can just make out that red buoy, and here we are to the perfect shot, looking at their last final bit of their upwind leg. That red mark there marks the upwind, finishing their first leg of the course.
Yeah, that is right, and you can see them on the port ley line. And you can see the Japanese sailor who we've been following from the start. He's coming across on a really nice angle, going really quick. And they are pumping hard and working away. It looks like that left-hand side did come out. Those competitors who tacked off early and went towards the right, they are coming across the left-hand side of the screen now, behind the rest of them. So it seems like there was a key first advantage to obviously having a good start and heading towards that left-hand side.
Yeah, we certainly got a leader coming towards that upwind mark. Certainly got a tasty lead on here. Several seconds indeed it is. Let's see who it is. Could it be the Japanese rider? I think it is indeed. Indeed, that is a great tack from him there. Just cruising all the way around, right next to the mark, making no distance, no extra distance, making the shortest course as physically possible, and straight up on to the plane for him as he is pumping hard.
That is right. You can see he's just got onto that second leg. He is working super hard. He's been pumping the whole first upwind, and now he's got in the foot straps. He's pulled that mash track back. And you can just see the speed difference, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely incredible work.
We've had a bit of a crash at the top mark, and someone's fallen in. Maybe on there, they just misjudged their tack and they slipped through. Let's see if they can get that sail up as quick as possible. They might still regain and hold that third position.
Indeed, it is an interesting one here. We've seen the rest of the riders really attacking now, trying to take that spot, really pumping that sail, pumping that board, driving that board forward, getting the lift from that fin and that dagger board, lift them out of the water and gaining speed. But it is now Spain now taking that third spot. I think it is indeed
That's right, followed by Singapore and France and some more Japanese sailors coming around. Now, as you're aware, some of them have touched the mark, but that is not an issue in windsurfing. That is very much within the rules. What a great thing to have. And here we are, they're starting to line up and pile up a little bit. This is going to be really tricky. They want to get their own air. They want to keep above the rest of the sailors. Oh, what a move there by Italy. They've come out and they pumped over the rest of them. A quick top 10 to a top 3 positional change there.
Absolutely pushing it to the max. This is a perfect shot. Shows up. Absolutely cruising around the course, putting on some up. Absolutely cruising around the course, putting on some epic shots here at the Techno293 World Championships. What a pinnacle competition this is, Kieran.
Honestly, yeah, they've been training all year and, you know, for a few years for this competition, and it's really paying its dividends. As you can see, there's been a couple of tactical differences there. We've had a little group that's gone high, gone into that planing mode. They want to keep that speed. Maybe not go the direct course, but they're going much faster. And we've had a few of the leaders. They've been able to come around, sail their own course in their own direction, and they've gone straight towards that second mark.
They will be doing the outer trapezoid course, won't they? Indeed, I think.
I think that's right. We can even get that up on the live stream right now.
I think. I think they are doing that. I can't quite make out if they're going downwind or across the wind here, but here is the outer trapezoid course that they could be doing. So as we saw, it is an upwind start straight to that mark number 1. Remember, they will be going diagonally to that course as that is the fastest way to make it there. Then that reach, making their way downwind to that gate, deciding where to go at that gate, either left or right, back up to that second mark and then downwind and finally towards the finish. But still in the lead we do have Japan 1016, which is indeed Takehito Katayama. We did see him actually have the best start within this race, number 10 here at the World Championships, and he has held that lead all the way to the finish, still working extremely hard to defend his lead out on the course, and he's defending it pretty well, isn't he?
That is right, and it just shows how important the start is in the windsurfing race, ladies and gentlemen. But as you can see in the background, there's a lot of wind coming down, so the Japanese sailor at the front, he is in displacement downwind mode, and it looks like there might be some people behind him who will hit the gust and maybe be able to catch up.
Would it be possible? I mean, we're seeing a gust coming towards Takehito here. Will he be able to catch that and make his way back up onto the plane? Now they are on their downwind leg. This confirms that they are doing the outer trapezoid course out in Pwllheli, but that is very interesting. You can, in the background there, it's looking really windy, but as soon as we get to this Techno Plus course here, it just shuts off, doesn't it? Very interesting.
That is right, yeah, there seems to be a bit of wind going on over there, but it looks like a few people going around mark number 2. They are catching a bit of that wind, so it will start to compress the fleet and hopefully make this interesting around this bottom gate.
Certainly interesting it is going to be, and we've had an amazingly interesting week throughout this Techno293 World Championships, and we also have a very interesting few days to come for each and every one of you, so make sure you tell all your mates, make sure you share the links everywhere to make sure that everyone can come in, join the show, and see all the action live hand.
That is right. Come join us for the following few days. We would love to hear your opinion, get in the chat, see any questions, please send them our way. We're a wealth of knowledge, just ready to share with everyone here.
Indeed, and all the fans as well. I'm sure there's fans from all around the world supporting these athletes here. I'm sure they'll have a lot of fans. I mean, it was great to talk to one of the Japanese riders yesterday. He's brought his whole family here, didn't he?
It was beautiful. I mean, 12-hour flight to get to the UK, then probably a 10-hour drive to get to North Wales. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for some of them. It's amazing. You get to go out and see the world. You get to meet lots of different people from all over the world. It's just, you're not just racing, you're making friends. It is amazing out there.
Absolutely dreamy. This is what windsurfing brings. This is why windsurfing is, I mean, in my opinion, it's one of the best sports in the world. It is the best sports in the world. Is it yours?
Yeah. You there. There's no other feeling quite like it. Being powered by the elements, there is It is unmatched, really.
Absolutely unmatched. And then you put it into a racing environment such as this, when you have people from all around the world joining together, enjoying nature, enjoying windsurfing. The vibes are just top tier.
They really are. And look at this, they are coming around to the gate. So an important decision for them now. Do they go to the buoy on the left or around the buoy on the right? And as we saw in the first lap, the people who went towards the left did gain a big advantage. So let's see if the Japanese rider in the front selects the same way.
It's going to be very interesting. I mean, looking at this definitely looks like maybe a favoured side on that right mark. However, we can only speculate, as we are currently not out on the water.
That's true. We're in a beautiful setup on the shore, but we can see the racing from where we are, and it looks amazing out there.
It does look absolutely dreamy. The sun is shining, the wind is blowing, and the water is looking blue.
That is right. What more can you ask for out there,
physically more? Yeah, I mean, looking at this, I don't know about you and everyone else watching at home, I'm quite jealous out there. It just looks dreamy as the Japanese rider of Takehito, again, it looks like he has extended his lead.
It really does, and he has opted for that left-hand gate, so he's seeing something out there that maybe the other competitors haven't. So maybe the others will come down and follow him towards that wind, or some might opt to choose the other gate, because it's really hard to overtake when you are following someone to one side of the course.
Exactly, you kind of want to split that up, take the risks. Could the risk pay off, or could it pay, or could it not pay? Or are you going to lose from that risk? We will find out very soon.
We will have to find out. And there is our competitor number 2 coming around. I think that's Singapore.
I think it might be Thailand.
That is Thailand.
Has taken it. Thailand 20.
Yeah.
That is Navin Singh Art, all the way from Thailand. But look at Italy 212. He's putting in the pumps. He is extending. Will he be able to underroll the rest of these riders? It's looking like he is. He was pumping and got straight up onto that rail.
That is right. Maybe he saved a bit of energy on that downwind. He was a bit more tactical about it, and he has gone for that underroll. And the Thailand 20, he is trying his best to stay on top of them. Another fact for Thailand 20, he is the oldest man out here in the fleet. Birth year, but 1988 he was born. So he has a lot of experience on the others.
A lot of experience indeed, and he is showing that this experience that he has is really paying off. Could he be in that second place position? Could he be in that third? I think this is going to be a big battle between Navin from Thailand here and also Italy 212 of Christian.
That is right, and we have some competitors opted to tack onto port, and they are heading to the right hand side. We will see towards the top who has made the right decision, which side has more wind. That is what they're searching for right now.
I mean, looking out on the course here, again, we can only speculate, but it's looking like possibly there is a gust on the other side of the course. We will be seeing the side that is split off come out on top. We'll find out very soon, but look at Takehito there now. He is straight up onto that plane, onto that rail, seeing some big spray out of the water, from the water out behind him from him there, showing that he now has the speed.
He has, and that is a tactical play, everyone. He has decided to tack, get back into the center of the course. When you're in the center, you have the options. You can go left or right. And the main thing is you are keeping yourself between the fleet and the next mark, which is very good play from him there. That is experience coming through.
But he's now put on straight away a big tack right in the middle of the course. A very interesting maneuver from him there. As you said, that could be a defending maneuver. Maybe he's seen a gust out on the course, or maybe even a shift. This is something that each and every one of these riders always has to think about. Where is that next gust? Where is that next shift? How can I minimize the distance that I travel over this course? But also, how can I go the fastest with the most angle? So overall best VMG. So it's not just about going around marks. There is many things that these riders have to think about.
That is right, Rafty. It is a real thinking game. There are two things you really have to be thinking about. You're thinking inside the board, how am I getting this equipment to go as fast as possible? And also your head and your vision needs to be looking everywhere. You want to scan the field, see where the fellow competitors are going, see where the wind is coming from. There are so many things to think about during this racing.
It is so exhilarating. Once we know that each of these riders are always thinking about this really makes it really interesting to watch. We've seen Takehito there, our leader throughout this race so far. He's put in a fair few tacks actually so far. Tell us a little bit about how much attack gains or loses distance over a course from a world champion, Kieran.
That is right. Well, in conditions like this, you're not losing too much. Competitors aren't going too quick, so you have that spare time and that option to really choose when to attack. Make sure the tactics are really coming into play here. Like I said, he is trying to keep himself between the rest of the fleet and the next mark, and it looks like he's doing a great job of that at the moment.
He certainly is doing a great job of that moment. Still leading within the race so far. A great shot out here. Suddenly got a little bit cloudy, but it is looking dreamy out on the course. Very much displacement conditions, but we've seen throughout this race some marginal stuff. When they can pump mega hard, they are managing to get up on that rail. But at the minute, as we saw, it's kind of that dropping breeze throughout the day, isn't it?
It does look like the breeze is dying throughout the day at the moment,
but it is looking sweet currently out on the course. We're seeing a lovely background. It is looking dreamy. We got mountains out on the land looking perfect, and we also have light blue waters out onto the sea. What a location this is, Kieran.
That is so true. And on the backdrop of these green sails, so the green sails is the Techno Plus fleet. This is the biggest sails out there, and the oldest competitors, I think they have to be at least 19 years old to be in this category. And it is a 8.5 meter sail, I believe. So they should have the most opportunity to be going the quickest and getting onto that plane and get going as fast as they can.
Exactly. So we've got two different colours out on the course at the minute. As you said, on the green, the light green, the lime will be those Techno Pluses, the 8.5 meter sails. And then out in the background, which are just starting with their start, are the 7.8s with the green up in the top of the sail. Those are the under 17s coming through.
That is right. Yes, we have the Techno Plus on their outer loop, and we also have the under 17s, men or women. They've just started their race, so we're getting best of both action right here, everyone.
Both of both action indeed. This is one of the amazing things about this trapezoid course, is that we can actually have two fleets running at exactly the same time. So here we have the Techno Pluses running with the outer loop. They make their second upwind after their reach, and the 7.8s, they are doing the inner loop, so they do their second upwind before their reach. But again, a great thing about this course, you know, it includes everything. We have upwinds, we have downwinds, and also reaches. So it's full power VMG in some points, or throughout the course also. Just all about speed in those reaches, positioning, but also about those tactics where they really come into play on the upwinds and downwinds, as we're seeing them come into play here, aren't we?
Yeah, that is right. And you have a slight advantage starting second. You get to watch the first fleet go first. You get to see which side of the course came out best, so you can take that into your knowledge, and that really helps you decide where to start and which way to go. Yes,
it certainly does. That's one thing that, I mean, this is the first race here on day number 4 of the Techno293 World Championships. Race number 10. They have got race after race within this competition so far. I mean, looking at the forecast, it wasn't actually the best forecast here. However, the wind has delivered each and every day, showing us why. Pwllheli is one of the best locations in the world.
That is right. Rafty might have been paid here, but but we can't help but not agree with him at the moment. It is delivering, and it looks like the Japanese sailor has kept his lead, I think, throughout the entire race. This time he is going up for his final downwind leg, so he has 2 more legs left.
There we go, that is Takehito.
That is.
I think it is indeed, but look at that second place. We did see a big battle between Thailand and Italy, but Japan 155 has come straight through, currently in that second place position.
Is Yoshida Tsukuto has come through his tack for the ley line. Oh, a slight mistack there. Is he going to make it? He might have underlaid that, and he's going to have a double tack. That can be quite costly, but it looks like he's still going to make it ahead of the other competitor.
Going to be an interesting one here. Remember, the port rider doesn't have right of way, so Hungary here will have right of way, but Japan is still out in the lead comfortably in that second place position. Or straight up onto the, well, almost onto the plane there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks like maybe there's a bit of wind coming down from this top mark. There we go, and you can just see the speed differences when you get onto that plane. You can go almost twice as quick. It is so important. That's why it's such a hard sport. You have to work incredibly hard to get it onto that plane, but the rewards are there when you do it.
But it's not just about getting up onto the plane, it's being in that gust so you can get up into the plane. So it's not only physical, it's also a huge mental game out here in Pwllheli.
That's right. I mean, that is the best thing about this sport. It is a physical challenge and a mental challenge. It really has both components.
It is absolutely dreamy as the rest of these top 10 making their way around that mark. Here's where some of the biggest battles happen. You can see all that white water as all those riders accelerate.
That's right, and it looks like we have a couple of riders maybe jiving off to try and... Oh, that's pretty tight. It just made it around him. Yeah, maybe. That was quite close, but yeah, it looks like some of the leaders are planing. Now, they are in their own wind. That really does help. When you're coming around in the pack like that, you might have a couple knots of less wind, so it's much harder to get in that planing. So those ahead do tend to stay ahead.
And there is our current race leader for race number 10 here at the Techno293 World Championships. But he is in hot pursuit of those other riders. Well, the other riders within that top 3 are in hot pursuit of Takehito here. Indeed, he is. But Takehito still, he is pumping. He is putting in the gas. He is putting in the pressure. He is putting in the work to defend his first place position.
That is right. And it looks like he has opted for the low mode, a little bit slower than the others, but the people on top, they are coming back. Let's see how they come out at this bottom mark here.
They certainly are.
It does look like he's going to maintain his lead.
Maintain his lead, he does. Almost riding the waves down here. This is another thing we haven't quite talked about out here in Pwllheli. There are some waves out there, aren't there?
There are, and it is how well can you link those waves together. It also gives you a little bit of rest from the pumping. If you can get on the back of a wave, you can surf it down. There's lots of elements to this game.
Lots of elements that all these riders have to think about, as Takehito is showing us exactly how to think about all these elements perfectly as he is leading this race, currently still pumping. All that separates him is probably the last quarter or so of his downwind, then that final reach towards the finish, and there is that mark.
There it is. So they will be going round to the right and the short leg to the finish. So it really is no mistakes here, and you will keep that lead. It's very hard to overtake on this final short leg.
There is that finish as Takehito, he rounds that mark and he is now on his final leg. Not much separating him between a win here on race number 10 of day 4 of the Techno293 World Championships, and he is pumping all the way to the very end.
That's right. He is making his mark. He is letting the fleet know he is here for business today, and that will really help the course. A nice bullet on his score sheet.
Oh, I'll tell you what, if this is correct, Japan 155 has actually snatched the lead. Could he have won this race number 10? Yoshida Sakuto.
Yoshida Sakuto. So he has managed to overtake. That is amazing. He is currently maybe 6th position, so that bullet will really help. Insane work for each and every one of these riders here. We had Italy coming through. There is Thailand, Navin from Thailand also coming through. But look at this, 20-minute races we are having out here, and look how close these riders all the way to the finish. Only seconds separating them. That is right, and they will be so tired. This is 20 minutes of very hard work, everyone. They have been pumping really hard to keep that ball going as quick as they can. So now they're going to get a little bit of a break. They will go to their coach boat, have a chat, have some drinks, and get ready for the next race. But an absolutely amazing race here for the Techno Pluses. This was their first